Greetings all and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is about this here turntable, but before we get to this, I just wanted to mention how much I appreciate you guys for stopping by and checking out my videos throughout all of last year and hopefully all of this year as well. Had kind of a quiet Christmas, not too much going on around here, but yeah, I'm ready to start getting into some of the new 2024 projects. The first of which is going to be this turntable because I want to get started using it right away. And you're probably wondering to yourself why I would go for a linear tracking turntable like this. Well, I've always wanted one actually. What's the appeal to me about these linear tracking turntables? Well,
I just think they're neat.
I remember there was a big debate back in the 80s about whether or not linear trackers were actually better than regular tone arms for playing back records, because these kind of track the records the same way that they're made in the factory. But really, if you take a look at most turntables and you look at the geometry of the tone arm, it's really not that much different from this. So it's kind of a moot point to me. I say just get what you want. Doesn't really matter one way or the other. But for me, I always wanted a linear tracker, and now I've got one, and I've got a real banged up one too. So yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to do this year, was start taking on some more difficult projects and such. And this will be the first one of those. But real quick, because you guys helped me so much during the holidays and blew up that video on the Pioneer CTF 900, I wanted to show you the other fluoroscan unit that I actually bought before that one. So come over here with me. There it is right there. That is a Pioneer CTF 615. And let me set you down here. I cannot tell you how good these two units look together like this. I gotta say, these are some of the best looking audio components I have ever seen anywhere. Let me actually power these up for you so you can see a little better. Where's my extension cord? Ah, here it is. By the power of Numbskull, I have the extension cord. Look at that. I just don't know how you can argue with that kind of a appearance. And yeah, I'm basically all in on Pioneer fluoroscan now. I've got to have everything. And oh yeah, one more thing. I got the new phono preamp in. This is what I got. Came highly regarded, so I thought I'll just go ahead and get one. And I've been very pleased with this thing so far, actually. It's been dealing with the Sherwood in the other room, in the bedroom. And yeah, it sounds great, so I'm glad I got that. But we're going to be using that today to help try and figure out what's going on with this thing, because, man, the condition issues do not stop with this. We've got some kind of, I don't know if that's staining or what on there, but got marks all over the place. I would hope that there's a light in there to tell me exactly where the tone arm is as it's being tracked. Round back here, we've got a clear broken spot here. And yeah, you're probably wondering to yourself just how much I paid for this thing. And well, it was 120 bucks shipped. So same seller had a Panasonic linear tracker for about 160 bucks in better shape than this. But the Panasonic had problems. The problems being that one was belt drive and it was not quartz lock. This is direct drive quartz lock. So this thing's got it going on compared to the Sherwood in the other room, because that's only FG servo direct drive. This one, quartz lock. And yeah, we'll just take a look at the condition real quick. Obviously, there's no platter mat. We're going to have to use this one, which is from the Sherwood. It's not perfect, and we'll discuss that. We'll discuss the reason why in a second. We've got parts floating around missing here. although they don't appear to be broken. This is the factory 45 RPM adapter. It goes in here with this spring underneath. Then you just push down and twist and it pops up, or something like that. We're not going to be able to use that anymore, obviously, because we've got no platter mat, but yeah. You're probably wondering what this little thing is. Well, this is the record detection switch here. See, what happens is, as the record spins around, you recognize that sound, and it's the underground. No, actually, that's the little catch on the bottom of this, flipping the little switch under there that tells the machine that there's not a record present. So basically, if you push this down, you hear that clicking now, but push down, nothing. I'll just show you real quick what that switch looks like, if I can get the platter off. See, it's right here. And this model has another switch. It's right up in here. This is the record size detection switch. What happens is, once the lid closes, it pushes on this, a little arm comes out, and then if you've got a 12-incher in there, it pushes the switch in there. I'm not sure how this works exactly. There must be some kind of a linkage to keep this out of the way while the record's spinning, but yeah, that's how that works. This model takes 7-inch and 12-inch only. You cannot use the 10-inch records on this thing. So what I want to do right now is I want to see exactly what I've got here. Does this thing actually turn on and work? And I'm going to put the platter mat from the Sherwood on. Well, yeah, we can do it like that. I don't know if this is going to hold that. Yes, it will. Okay, so we can test it like this. Now I'm going to have to get power to her. And thankfully this is a Technics SL-Q5. So it's basically compatible with every Panasonic or Technics power cord ever released in the 80s. This is actually the one for my Panasonic RX-DT 901 boombox. So should work just fine. And I know there's a lot of debate on how to pronounce this, whether it's Techniques or Technics. Well, it's actually pronounced exactly the way it's spelled. So I hope that helps some. Now what we will do is I will plug in, and I will power on. And we've got a light in the queuing section up here. Do we have anything up here? Oh yes, the position indicator works. Okay, now what I want to do is have some fun, and I've got the feeling I'm not the only one. I'm pulling out my other phone here. I'm going to fire up the record RPM speed tester, and we're going to see if this thing's running in spec for wow and flutter. That's if it turns on at all. We'll see what happens here. But right now I'm going to just fool it into thinking there's a record in there, and the lid is shut. So all right, it's doing stuff. Seems like it's going into 33 and 45 properly. It's got a setting for automatic speed as well. And yeah, actually, why don't I just show you that record detection switch in action here real quick. That's basically what it does. So yeah, at least we've got an actual working direct drive motor in there, which means the controller circuitry is working. It's thinking. But it's real close to being perfectly on spec. I can already tell. Okay, what have we got? 0.08% wow and flutter. That's actually worse than the Sherwood. Like I said, my brain's fried today. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to see if the tone arm moves. How do I get it to do that? We got nothing. So we've got probably a belt in there that's got to be replaced. So we are going to turn this off for now. I'm going to leave the Sherwood's platter mat on here, and we're going to try to get inside this thing. I think the way you do it on this machine is to depin this. Not exactly sure how it's supposed to go. Yeah, we got 2 pins, one on either side. Some of these Technics linear trackers have screws you pull out, but not this one. This one's a bit too low end, I guess. Okay, I guess we got to pull out all 4 of these push pins, maybe. No, I know what it is. We've got one in place here on this side. That one's good. The one on the other side is missing. So what I got to do is I got to get this pin out. There we go. It's kind of a longer one, so we got to remember which is which. Okay, there we go. We got the lid off. Okay, and we do have a drive belt there, but it's extremely loose and hard. No wonder this thing doesn't work. So I'm going to have to find a belt real quick. Let me get my belts out. We're going to try to figure out exactly what kind of belt this thing needs. I'm not displeased with the status of the grease on the tone arm mechanism here, so I think once we get this belt fixed or replaced, it's going to work. I just got to find a belt that's tight enough to drive the mechanism here. So yeah, what I'm really hoping is once I get this serviced, it'll be up and playing and I'll be able to use it instead of the Sherwood, because I'm real tired of that Sherwood. It just doesn't sound that great. Fair disclosure, the cartridge being used in this thing is, what is it? An AT122 LP. Those can actually be more expensive than the styluses the Sherwood uses. So I don't know, but this thing's got quartz lock control, so I really want this one to be working. I've had that Sherwood for way too long now. I think this belt's gonna work. Let's find out. Okay, I think we can run this actually with the lid off like this. I'm going to move it up like this so that the tone arm doesn't try to drop directly onto the platter. And let's find out here what's going on. Oh, I saw it move. Oh, it's moving. I think it's working. Thinks we got a 7-incher or something in there. Slowly she moves. But yeah, I think we just fixed this thing already. Love it when it's that easy. But I gotta tell you, I really wasn't expecting it to be actually that hard either. Because turntables, there's rarely a lot that goes wrong with them, I find. With that being said, I am willing to do more turntables. It's just, I don't know how many I would want to do. And I love linear trackers. Maybe I've said that a couple times. Ever since I was a kid, and I went to that one kid from school's house, and his parents had a Mitsubishi X10 interplay system. Oh, guys, if you haven't seen one of those, they're crazy. Big vertical turntable in those things. Linear tracking, they're the coolest things you could have ever imagined as a kid. One day I'd like to get one on the channel, but who knows whether or not that'll happen. Okay, so what am I going to do now? Well, I need to A, put the lid back on, and B, I need to, you know what? I bet if I could find a decent half-decent lid for this, it would actually look good too. That's something to think about. Not very hard, but I will think about it. And after I get the lid back on, I'm going to pull the platter off, and then we'll get in underneath because I need to give this a ground connection. And I don't have the connector that is actually supposed to go with these Technics turntables. So yeah, if this thing actually plays and sounds decent, I'm probably going to end up getting a cart or getting a stylus for this and retiring that Sherwood again. Okay, platter's off, so we don't have to worry about it falling off when I overturn the unit. And we will get the bottom cover off here. All right, let's have a look. I don't see any puking caps. Just trying to find a good place to set you down here. Nothing's bulging, nothing's leaking. I don't really want to dig into this too deep right now because I just want to hear if it plays or not. So the ground is over here. And what I can do to bring the ground out is I can just take this little piece off here and I can run the wire right through there. I've got some hookup wire right here that I will use. Alright, so heating up the iron now. Got a little shield to get rid of. Yeah, this is going to be easy. Let's see, how long of a wire do I want? 5 feet, 6 feet? Whatever. It's not going to need to stretch that far. Hopefully we'll have it playing in no time. Let the machine itself grab onto that for me. Iron is heated up. Too far away from what I'm working on, of course. Oh, there's the other pin. Oh no, that's... Never mind, that was wire insulation. from the wire I just stripped. All right, now I'll just get in here. Let me try and get you a view so you see what I'm actually doing. All right, there we go. Now we'll just go around like this, through these posts, round through here and out the back. Like so. I need a better video setup, I'll tell you what. Okay, so now you can kind of see how I've got it routed. It's coming through here, through there, and then out here. That should do. I think I want to add a zip tie though, maybe. Well, no, I don't think it's necessary. So this thing ought to be ready to go now. Let me plug it back in again. And I'm going to need an audio cable in a second here. But for now, I'm going to get the platter back on. And let's see, do I want to install the 45 adapter? Yes, I do. Even though it'll never be used again, because the way this is turning out, I'm probably going to need it to leave it in place permanently. See, that's how that works. Just push down and turn, it pops up like that. But yeah, I'm going to have to use the 45 RPM adapter from the Sherwood now, because I'm going to have to get a generic platter mat. Actually, this may not work. Yeah, this may not work. I think I'm going to pull this back out. Have it stay out permanently. Because if I leave that there, it's going to bulge up in the center and it's going to make the record track badly. But yeah, if this plays properly, I'll get it a generic platter mat from off Amazon or something. I'll cut the hole in it for the record presence detection switch here. And then I'll just use it like that. With the Sherwood's 45 adapter. Okay, so what am I doing now? I need that audio cable. I already have the preamp hooked up to the test receiver, which is that beat up old Fisher that I got for $10 from a thrift store in Calgary because it was dead, which turned out to be somebody's god-awful attempt at doing a homemade fuse. Don't know what they were thinking there. But let's see here. Let's get some audio out of her. Left channel, right channel. And on one of these, should you have to adjust the starting position of the tone arm, it's actually behind this little sticker here, I do believe. That's where that adjustment is. There are other adjustments, but I'm not going to worry about those just yet because I just want to see if this works. And puts out audio. Okay, so I'll hook up my ground here. Alright, we've got the preamp going. I'm going to power it up here. Like so. See if I can bring it over here so you can see what I'm doing. Alright. Just go power on this receiver now. Well, I'll plug in the receiver first by the power of numbskull. There we go. It's on, I think. Yes, it is. All right. Now we're going to go with the same test record I used last time, and that's this really beat up copy of Star Treks. So I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to play, because every single thing on this record is going to do a content ID. So let's see if the auto mode works on this thing. All right, start. Power on. Now start. I don't know if you hear that, but it's working. But again, copyrighted content. Let's see if we can move the tone arm. The next model up from this had direct track access. Kind of wish this thing had it too, but... yes, this thing absolutely works. And it actually sounds like it has a half-decent stylus on it too. She's working, I love it. Let's see what happens if we go all the way to the end here. Does the auto shut-off work properly? Yeah, this thing sounds better than the Sherwood already. The stylus on the Sherwood is really bad, so I would expect that though. Okay, let's see if this thing shuts off properly. Here goes. Huzzah! It works! It looks terrible, but it works. That's all I wanted to get from this. So I guess we can count this as a success. I'm going to get a generic platter mat for this. I'll cut a hole in it for that record detection switch, and this will go into full-time use. And I'm going to need to get it into the bedroom to see for sure whether or not that stylus is any good. So, yeah, I don't know if there will be an update to that or not, because really not much content from a turntable to begin with. So, anyhow, I guess that's going to be it for today, guys. See you in the next video. Take care.